right? So running, biking, all that kind of stuff, or would you rather do some weight training? Okay. And if you want to defend yourself, right? Weight training, okay. So we got some cardio, we got some weight training. Cardio. What do you guys like about cardio, I guess? You like being on a bike and running? It's easy. I don't know if it's easy sometimes. You get to up and there in the miles, it gets pretty tiring to adapt. YTT. All right. Okay, let's move on a little bit here. We got some things to get over. Just so you know, this lesson is being recorded for learning purposes. Next, just as we're going through the lesson, right, make sure we're following along with the Nearpod lesson, using the chat tool respectfully and appropriately, and make sure you respond to questions the first time so we can move through this. Okay, a little brain fuel. Okay, in the morning, I don't know what you guys do when you first get up, but if you get some exercise going, it really kind of gets things going. I've already actually been to the gym this morning. It's what I like to do first thing when I get up. But something that kind of gets you going, right, is if you want to do little 30 seconds of jump squats, okay? So you need to, hopefully you guys all know what a squat is, right? Squat down, so it's like you're sitting in a chair, jump up, do that for 30 seconds, do a 30-second wall sit against the wall. You're going to feel it right in your quads. Your legs are going to shake a little bit after a while. Lunges. So if you go through and like you're stepping, but you're going to step all the way down until you hit your knee and bring it back. You can do walking lunges. You can do in-place lunges, all kinds of things right there. And then 30-second of hip thrust, okay? Hip thrust, what you do is you put your back on the ground and you put your feet up and you thrust up, and it really works your back and your glutes, and it's a really good exercise to get going there. So if you need some ideas of what to do for your activity logs, there's a little bit, some exercise that can help build strength and running through there. Okay, as we're going through the class, make sure we're just being positive, active, continuous, 30 minutes of movement. Okay, that's what I want to see on your activity logs. I've spot checked quite a few of your activity logs. It looks like most people are doing fairly well. So keep that up. And then also being able to evaluate yourself, stay motivated. Exercise is like a full lifetime activity, whether you just want to, you see like I have the older people in my neighborhood, they just walk around in the morning. I see them walking around, getting up, getting active, whatever you have to do. Okay, real quick. As we jump into the course, I put this on the course announcements. Make sure you're doing your daily activity log. Today, we'll be doing lesson 3 quiz. There will be a word at the very end that you'll need to get. Lesson 2 quiz was due yesterday. A lot of you did not turn it in, okay? That's okay. Make sure you get that done. I did go in and zero things out first thing this morning. So if you do get a bad grade, just know that you need to get in there and do that lesson 2. Okay, try to finish up the activity log this week. If you need to take over the weekend, that's fine. I usually really don't grade it until I grade the quiz as well. Okay, so that is this week's kind of to-do on here. If you haven't missed some of the things before, like the Unit 1 quiz, go back and do that. I don't really penalize you. I just want you to get there. So today is Unit 3. We're going to be talking about motor skills and how that all works. Okay, so different motor skills and fitness. So there's different stages of learning on your motor skills. There's the stage of cognitive, okay? What to do, okay? So we're processing information. Characteristics where we see large gains, inconsistent performance, and verbal motor stage, okay? So this is like your very young stage. You see like this little baby trying to walk. You can see a baby like sometimes overnight, like they're crawling or rolling over, then they're crawling, then they're running. So they make those steps really quickly, and you see those things. The next stage, they go to associative, so how to do it, okay? So you're putting more actions together. My babies must be fast growers. I don't know. They go fast, right? I mean, you do see large gains within little babies really fast. Yep. Okay, so the next one, associative. So you're putting actions together. So you see smaller gains. They're just disjointed performance, right? So you're going to see some falling, some stumbling. Even oh geez, how old is he now? He's 6. But when he was 4 and 5, he would always be hitting his head, right? Falling on things, cutting himself. They still do it sometimes. But this is more of what we call the motor stage. And then the last one we do is like autonomous. So it's how we do it. It takes much time and practice, but most people, they're able to get the coordination to be able to ride a bike. And they can just do that easily and automatically, but it took time to get that bike, right? And it took practice. You do things smoothly, like walking or sitting up, all of those kind of things. And those are the stages of your motor learning. Okay, let's take a little bit, watch this quick video where it talks about how the different motor things work.
Welcome to another Anatomy and Physiology Smart Art video, where we guide you through an important piece of art. After watching this video, you should be able to define a motor unit and describe the process of recruitment in generating varying levels of muscular tension. Let's begin by looking at this image here, where we see a muscle from the arm with its individual motor units color-coded as purple, blue, or red. Recall that a motor unit consists of a motor neuron and all the muscle fibers it controls. The cell bodies of these motor neurons reside here in the spinal cord, and here we see the muscle fibers they control. The purple motor neuron controls only the purple muscle fibers, the blue motor neuron controls only the blue fibers, and the red only the red. The axons of these 3 motor neurons are bundled together to form the motor nerve that controls this particular skeletal muscle. The number of fibers in a particular motor unit indicates how fine or precise that motor unit is. The precise control of eye movements is achieved by motor units with only 4 to 6 muscle fibers, while the more gross or larger movements of our limbs may be controlled by motor units with 1 to 2,000 fibers. To achieve a smooth and steady increase in muscular tension, you progressively recruit more motor units. Recruitment begins by first activating small motor units and continues by progressively involving larger motor units with faster and more powerful muscle fibers. For instance, compare lifting a cup of coffee to lifting a heavy dumbbell. Lifting the coffee requires precision, so just a few motor units and therefore relatively few muscle fibers are involved. Lifting the dumbbell, however, requires maximal tension. Many more motor units must be recruited to involve a maximum number of muscle fibers and generate as much tension as possible. This image uses the same color key to distinguish our 3 motor units and demonstrates how during sustained contractions, motor units take turns, allowing some to rest while others actively contract. This relay team approach is called asynchronous motor unit summation. You subconsciously gauge the amount of motor units needed to do a job, but sometimes you get fooled. Have you ever reached into the refrigerator to grab a gallon of milk you thought was full, but was actually empty? You lift the empty container too forcefully, not because your muscle fibers contract more forcefully, but because you recruit more motor units than needed. To summarize, a motor unit is a single motor neuron and all the muscle fibers it controls. Motor units vary from just a few fibers, as in the muscles controlling fine eye movements, to several thousand fibers, as in the limbs. Recruitment is the process of progressively involving more motor units to achieve a smooth and steady increase in tension, and begins by first recruiting small motor units, followed by larger and more powerful motor units. So what? Why is it important to understand a motor unit and the process of recruitment? Well, this helps you understand the complexity of human movement. For example, this is one of the reasons why your muscles become stronger when you lift weights at the gym. Lifting progressively heavier weights trains a muscle to recruit more motor units. As more motor units become involved in a movement, the greater the tension generated by that muscle. You see the results as
Okay, so you can see it's very complicated scientifically and stuff like that. And in physical education, we really don't go over like everything of how it works, neurons work, and they hit your muscles. But what we know is there's a lot of science into it. And if you want to get more into that, I would suggest taking like an exercise physiology class or anatomy class that you can kind of get a little bit more in detail about how all this kind of stuff works. So what is motor fitness? One, it's your ability to perform during physical activities. Two, it's associated with muscle activity. And three, your brain, CNS, and muscles work together. We're not going to watch that. Okay. So we're going to go over all of these just real quick because they all are skills related to physical fitness, right? So agility, balance, coordination, speed, power, reaction time. So the first one we're going to talk about is agility. You may have looked at agility drills before. Agility is the capacity for you to change course, control your body's direction, position while keeping momentum. So this is important like in different sports, like say soccer or basketball, tennis, that kind of stuff. Some activities you can do or like a shuttle run, just going from one direction to another, but still continuing it. So that is agility. The next is balance, the ability to stabilize your body while moving. There's dynamic, or while standing still is static. So dynamic is you're moving and static is you're staying still. So for example, like yoga is more static, where dynamic is more like you're moving. Like if you've done like high knees before, or they call butt kickers, right? Those kind of things. But they all do require balance as you're moving there. The next one's coordination. Coordination is the synchronization of your senses and your body parts that enhance motor skills. So hitting a ball or throwing or catching a ball, bouncing it against the wall, all that kind of stuff requires coordination to be able to see. And you can see like in different activities that we have, how important that is. Next one's speed. I don't know why that went down there. Moving your body swiftly. Okay, so there's different kinds of speed, right? So running fast or swimming, or just the speed of, you know, some of my kids do, or I guess all my kids do taekwondo. You know, be able to move fast, the speed of an area. The next one's power. Power is the combination of speed and muscular force. So for example, like jumping as high as you can, right? It requires a lot of power, right? And building up those muscles and to do it. Some of like the power lifting competitions, where if you know what a clean and jerk or a snatch are, those ones require a lot of power. And it's speed and force kind of getting in there. So you're pulling and speed to get under the bar or do those kind of activities. The next one, probably everybody's been here before where they've been hit in the face with a ball, is reaction time, okay? How swiftly you can interpret and then react to an expected and unexpected stimuli. So, you know, if everybody if you think fast, right, and the ball is coming right to you, or maybe you're daydreaming and playing baseball in the outfield and the ball's coming right to you, right? What is your reaction time? Building up that reaction time as faster is one of those motor skills that you can really work on there. Okay, so this is something that you'll want to review, okay? Agility, balance, coordination, speed, power, reaction time. I'm assuming a lot of your quiz this week will be on these different aspects. And your word of this week is development, okay? So being able to develop those different skills. So make sure you have that down. I'm going to leave it up here for a little bit because that's going to be your word of the week for the quiz of what you need. All right, that leads us to the very end. I'm going to stop the recording here, but I'm going to stick after to answer any questions that you guys may have and go from there.